Brooks. I'm the sergeant over the sexual assault unit here at CMPD, and I'm here to discuss an incident that occurred yesterday in the late evening, early morning hours of today. This incident occurred in the Metro Division around the incident block of 3800 Glenwood Drive. Our victim was walking from Tuckaseegee in Glenwood, and on her walk down Glenwood, she was approached by the unknown suspect who struck up a conversation with her. Shortly after that conversation, our survivor was brutally, physically, and sexually assaulted by this unknown suspect. The victim was able to call police. They responded immediately, and she was transported to the hospital. Sexual assault detectives responded to the incident location. Of course, we canvassed the area thoroughly. Crime scene responded, processed the scene. This is very early in the stages of the investigation, but through our canvassing, we have identified a person in the area resembling the suspect description that was provided by the victim that we would like to speak with. Those pictures will be released, and a full press release will be pushed out on our website by the PIO's office. We are asking for the public's assistance if they identify this individual for us to speak with them. If anyone saw the incident, for them to call Crime Stoppers 704-334-1600, and I'll give you a physical description to go along with that picture. It's going to be a black male, 5'5" to 5'7", about 30 years old, skinny build, medium brown skin, brown eyes, a mustache and goatee, low-cut hair. At the time of the incident, he was wearing faded brown jeans, a white and blue shirt with a red hoodie over it, black shoes, and potentially teeth missing either on the top or the bottom. Since this incident, patrol is well aware of the incident, and there is a heavy presence in that area as well. Yes, sir.
Is this similar? Have we seen crimes like this in this area before, or is this kind of out of the blue for this area?
So stranger rapes are obviously not very common. I don't see a connection in this suspect description in this area at this time.
Did he drag her to an area where he would be observed? Can you talk about that a little bit?
So if you know the area of Glenwood, there is a lot of traffic, but that time of night, obviously, it's less. I can't talk about the exact area of where it occurred, but I would say that, yes, she was pulled from the main thoroughfare of Glenwood and sexually assaulted.
Talk about, I know you mentioned how rare stranger assaults are. Why is this particular crime so dangerous in terms of the suspect and these stranger type situations?
Sure. Well, anytime anyone is sexually assaulted, obviously it's alarming to us. But for this female, she was walking home, minding her business, and to have someone unknown just brutally, physically, and sexually assault you, it's always alarming, and that's why it is so important for us to get this information out.
The approximate time, I know you said late last night.
Sure, 11:30. Yes, sir.
Is this a route she walks often?
So I can't answer that for you at this point. It's, again, we are fact finders right now. We have to move at the pace of what our survivors can tell us and how fast we can go. We'll develop all of that to see if there's any potential for, a trend or something like that for her personally, but this appears to be random.
And you gave a description as well. I know it had all the details in that.
Sure.
The suspect, the victim obviously called police. So
yes.
So she was able to get away at that point.
Absolutely.
So is there any physical maybe claw marks or struggle marks on that you could be looking for on the suspect?
Sure. What I can tell you is that she went to the hospital, and our crime scene responded to the scene, and then there are certain nurses that also would collect any evidence. Any evidence that we have, we would prioritize, and that would be sent for examination.
Would we be looking for signs of struggle on the suspect? I believe is.
Yeah.
It's not out of the question.
basically, did she fight him off in a sense, or did he just let her go?
So I don't want to get into the particulars of how it ended, but I will say that she was able to successfully escape him and be able to call 911.
And you have pictures of the suspect?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say suspect. It's a person in the area around the time of the incident that closely resembles what the victim described as the suspect's clothing and physical appearance.
If somebody sees this person, what would you want them to do?
I would want them to call 911. And if they know who they are, I would want them to call Crime Stoppers and let us know.
All right, we'll do one more question.
Obviously a very hard subject to talk about. To anyone that's in the area around the Queen City, around Charlotte, what is maybe a word of peace of mind that you can give them about these types of situations, and maybe advice from CAPD on this?
Sure. So again, and I say this probably at every press conference, but stranger assaults, sexual assaults are rare. However, they do happen, and one is too many. And so anytime that someone is out walking alone, being on the phone with someone, letting someone know where you are, being hypervigilant of your surroundings is always important. But there are times that we have to get from point A to point B, and things happen. And so CMPD as a whole, whether it's patrol, sexual assault detectives, our crime lab, we are all coming together to make this a priority to catch this person.
I know you don't know whether this gentleman is territorial or not, but for women who live in that particular area, what advice would you have in terms of them taking care of their safety and their security?
I think it would piggyback exactly what I just said to this gentleman here, just to be aware of your surroundings. If you have to walk from point A to point B, let someone know where you are, and try to stay in well-lit areas or walk with someone.
Okay, that's it for today, guys. If you will be sending out a full release with the